We're so glad you're joining us today. We got a great friend with us here at Covenant Church. I'm Pastor Gregory Pope, my daughter Allison, and we have with us Yoav Rotem, and he's been our tour guide.
Joab.
How did I say it?
No, it's Yoav, but doesn't it stand for Joab?
I'm trying to do right.
I just wanted to give people.
No,
his biblical name is Joab. But you say Yoav. I'm just picking.
Oh, good. Yeah, I thought you were correcting me.
But mine would be Allison.
I love that. Yeah. And so, with what I was saying is that I met Yoav in 2015 in Israel on a Israeli collective trip, and so we just became more than an acquaintance then. You know, I call him my brother. That may be a stretch for him, but we love him that much.
The little one.
The little one, that's right. So we just go talk today some about what's happening in Israel and what's happening from his standpoint as a dad, as a husband, as with two small children, and what October 7th did. And Allison?
So I'm just excited. No, I think Yoav is just going to give like a real perspective of so many times the news and the media or just social media, you hear things and there's so many different views coming in, but it's nice when you have someone that's actually there, feet on the ground, living in the environment, and that loves their country, loves their people, and loves their neighbor. And you do all that.
And you know what? Actually, for him, it's like that's his home.
Yes.
He has nowhere to go. I mean, he has to protect his home.
That's the point.
Yes.
That's the point. We don't have where to go.
Nowhere to go?
We, the Jewish people of Israel,
yes,
we have got. That's actually what we're going to talk about on Wednesday.
Good.
We've gathered from all around because we've been pushed out of Europe. My family from Iraq. There's other families from other places. And we established a country, my grandparents established a country that is very peaceful.
Your grandfather.
Yes.
A Holocaust survivor.
Yes, he just passed away a month and a half ago.
Bless.
And we basically created our own independent Jewish country, which was something that Jews always dreamt of since 2,000 years ago. They were kicked out by the Romans. And it was very obvious that it's going to happen. Many people think it's colonialization or a new thing. No, the Jews always wanted to live in Israel and to be independent.
And it's promised to them in the scriptures.
Exactly.
Yes.
Well,
exactly.
actually, the land. Let's just talk for a minute. America's one of the only places that says Jew without it being Judea.
Exactly.
I mean, because it's the land. We're missing the D because we think of it as a group of people. But you know, when
religion.
That's right.
You think it's religion, and many other languages does have the D because Jews are Judeans. They're coming from a land.
I love that.
It's basically part of the coming from the name of the tribe of Judah.
Yes.
And the rest of Israel, the other tribes actually were exiled before and everything.
Yes.
And the story of Judah, the blessed tribe and everything, is the story of the Jewish people of today, together with the tribe of Benjamin. They were the ones of the kingdom of Judah of the Old Testament.
Yep.
Where King David
Yes.
sets up his throne, and now we have proof of that from, you can go to Dan with us one day. You can go to Dan with him anytime you want to, where it's showing that for thousands and thousands of years, this land has belonged to the Judean people, which are the Jews.
Yes, with the names we know from the Old Testament.
Yes.
David, for example, the house of David has been recognized about 150 years after he died by a foreign king, an enemy, who killed one of his descendants as a king of Judah, and recognizing it on a stela that has been found in the 90s in the northern part of Israel. And that's
Proof enough.
Yeah, and that's fun to be there.
Yeah.
Fun, pretty, and significant.
It is significant, but as we're talking, what we're wanting to establish with people, when people talk about, and you hear today, from the river to the sea, you're talking about an elimination of a culture, of a people, of a nation, of it. A lot of times I think people don't understand. They're saying we're taking back something that was always ours.
No.
But that's not the truth. Actually, God gave that land to the Jewish people with Father Abraham a long time ago. It starts there and continues.
Yeah, when you say, depends what you say after, what's the last name of the river and the sea, because you can say from the river to the sea we'll have a Jewish independent country, and that's wonderful, and that's what it's supposed to be. But if you're saying something else, you're basically ignoring the fact that there is a current country with Jews, and you mentioned earlier, with Arabs, 21%. Some of my neighbors,
close friends.
Yes, that recognize the fact that the Jews are controlling there.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's a Jewish state with a Jewish Shabbat, which means that's the day off, with Jewish cultures, language, holidays, and they have their own Muslim and respected Arab Muslim things that they do, and the country, as a democratic country, respect it and give them all the freedom, but they don't want to kill us. They don't want to wipe it out.
Let me just throw this in. So you have a very nice haircut,
Yes.
right? So who cuts your hair?
Actually, my neighbor.
Okay.
My neighbor, who is an Arab Muslim, he's a young guy, amazing guy.
Okay.
And every month, or sometimes 2 months, if I decide to be a little bit of a hippie and grow my hair, and he puts a knife over here and shave, and he doesn't kill me. He's a Muslim Arab. His place is next to a mosque.
This is very interesting to me.
Next to a mosque, and we joke, we laugh, and we we complain together about the other people that don't accept us here and don't understand. Obviously, it's sensitive, and it's some of them has families. I have a good friend who is a Christian Arab in Jerusalem. His family is in Gaza right now.
Yeah.
They're Christians. And I see he has, he's sad. He doesn't know because he's a great supporter of Israel. He understands the history. He knows the history very well from the ground level because he's an antique collector. So he knows the Jewish appearance of Jewish independence on the ground. But he knows that his family is suffering. And they know exactly who's the enemy.
There's a difference between an Arab than a Hamas situation in different situations.
Among the Arabs,
That's right.
between the river to the sea, and also in Egypt, Jordan, all of the neighbors, we have a group that is very radical, which is Hamas. Now, they've become so strong. But it's not only them, Allison. I have to tell you that the idea of not accepting the Jewish independent state of Israel is an idea that the entire Arab leaders of the neighborhood never accepted since the beginning, since the 20th century. We find the Arab aristocracy of the land don't accept the fact that the Brits there or anything. They don't accept that the Jews will have a piece of the land. This is why they say from the river to the sea, which means everything, no Jewish state. We don't, and this is what's so frustrating us when people all around says the solution is a two-state solution. No. But they don't accept the two-state solution.
No, you've tried a two-state solution. Actually, the Jewish nation is offered two-state solutions.
Even before the Jewish nation,
right.
The Brits offered them peace. They didn't accept. They wanted to kill the Jews and push them out. Then the partition plan. And we're going to go over it on Wednesday. It's amazing to see they don't accept now. It's all matter of education, because we do have people that accept this idea of either two-state solution or Israel is there, and if there's the Palestinians wants independent, territory, that's option, but don't try to kill us from there.
Right. See, the thing I love that I learned when we went to Israel, the Jewish nation, the Judeans, are only wanting to protect themselves. And what you turn out, though, all over the world, you're doing things as a people, as a culture, to help change everybody's. You're a help to the whole world.
How do I know that we're trying to protect ourselves? I've been to the army, and that's what they taught me. My grandparents told me that. My parents told me that, and I hear all my friends. That's what we're trying to do. If no one is coming to kill us, we just sit
there and enjoy.
Drink coffee together.
Yeah, drink coffee, exactly.
Yeah. And enjoy it.
And getting a haircut.
No, but talking about that, something that I found amazing. I've had the opportunity to be in Israel twice, and I'm looking forward to going back with you guys. And as we plan and we talk about things, I met with even Arab Muslims that live in Israel, in Jerusalem, that love the country, that believe that it is a lack of education, that there is a perversion that takes place in what is the information that's being spread out, that has the freedom to worship how they want to worship there, live, and they don't want to live anywhere else but there, and they would not want to live under a different type of rulership. I got that very clearly. And then I met with the pastor Stephen in Bethlehem, who has been so persecuted, and his father.
He's a Palestinian Christian.
Yes, he is. He's a Palestinian Christian. Has the church in Bethlehem. He has written an amazing book. Right. I mean, all kind of things happen. The church has been burned. They've been abused, and he feels called to speak truth into his Arab brothers over what's really taking place.
Muslims or
Christians. That's right.
And I think we see today, and many people don't believe, even my friends and Israeli colleagues have hard time to believe in the change.
Yeah.
And they always speak, no, there's no way for peace. I think that first of all, you have approved what's called the Marshall Plan. And today we see what happened with President Trump when he created the Abraham Accords with the Emirates.
Yes.
Immediately they've changed the educational system and what they taught the kids about Israel. From hating
to
accepting. Exactly. To accept the fact that Israel is there. Little change to accept the fact that there is a Jewish state.
Yes.
You don't need to teach them Hebrew, which can be good. You don't need to teach them Bible. They can do their Quran thing. But little thing that they need to change in their education. Now, it's a little thing that can happen in seconds, the big change, and then you start seeing it in the next years that it's going to happen. But as long as it's not happening, Hamas is the enemy, definitely, but the people around them still don't accept us. And it's not easy. That's the main challenge, because some of them may not hold a weapon, but they educate.
So I want to talk a little bit about education. I'm so thankful that Jesus said there's no male nor female, there's no Jew nor Greek. I love that. He's the greatest man that equalized the world, and said we're all on the same page, and love is the answer, peace is the answer. I love that about this situation. But what people don't know, and I want to say this to all the young women that are getting caught up in the not knowing the truth of what's really going on in Gaza, maybe even hearing stuff, but they're hearing it not from all sides. Because there are people in Gaza, women, and people that have been under atmospheres that there's not a great women's freedom in those nations. I mean, there's a great women's right movement that women can be individuals, be people, not be hurt, not be ruled, not be that is taking place in the...
Not be one of many.
Not be the one of many that's taking place. But the other thing is, you're not hearing what I feel like should be a big deal. There were so many people not just murdered on October 7th, but there was a lot of rapes that took place on October 7th. And there is this lack of understanding, I think, that, we have all these people that are like, I want to take care of the innocent. I don't think that people really understand what took place. 300 people are killed at least that day. There's still 120, right?
More. The day of October 7th.
See, I don't know. I need your help.
We have almost a little bit less than 1,200 Israelis that were innocently, some of them soldiers.
Okay.
We're talking about 345 people at the party.
Thank you for help. I'm sorry.
Festival music. 100 people from one community, Kibbutz Be'eri, and dozens of them were adopted into Gaza.
Yeah.
Still in the caves, some of them, and the tunnels, waiting to be rescued or to be released. And so that the total number is a little bit less than 1,200 that we know. And again, there was ceasefire before that. I mean, and there was food and everything coming into Gaza. Unfortunately, the Gaza people have been under control of Hamas, which is invested so much money to kill us instead of developing their life.
Yeah, the money that they have been given to make a better life for their people has been taken by what I want to say a wrong leadership, and
even money that our country has sent.
Yes,
still sending,
and still sending.
And I just read in the news, and we got a message that my unit in the army, the reconnaissance unit, snipers killed 3 terrorists from Hamas while they were trying to take over some of the trucks with the food going to the people of Gaza. The moment they take over the food, they control it, they sell it with a lot of money, or they're hiding it, so the people will be hungry or they won't get what they need to get, and then they will complain, and they're using.
And on the world stage, that complaint
the UN,
reflects back to you. This is what the Jewish people are doing to Hamas.
And you know what? I have to admit that after being here on Sunday and seeing and hearing you, hearing you talking about us and understanding our point of view brought tears to our eyes, to my wife's and me, because it's very frustrating. We are so full of human rights, around us, and we try so hard, and then you hear this UN, and we found out that the UN is not that innocent. We have so many things in the UN that are aimed to destroy us, against us, and one of them is we have to mention it. It's an organization called UNRWA. UNRWA is basically a refugee specifically organization that was created for the Palestinians. They're using the UN at the beginning to look like innocent, but members of them were terrorists that killed people. It's a subject to study, to learn. I recommend the people to go and read about UNRWA. I'll give you some links and
okay, good. We'll share those.
And I think what people don't know is there is another story. If you were listening for the first time and felt like people need to really know what's going on, because we all make mistakes and there's something that happens, what news broadcast system would you recommend that people find truth on?
First of all, I love the Jerusalem Post. I love what comes out of Israel. There's a kind of like the citizens spokesman. They're on YouTube every day. They have except Shabbat. They have now a live YouTube.
That's like citizens spokesman.
Spokesmen. Some great people that in English. They're doing a great job. And I myself is going to send reports on I'm going to create a little club of updates through a Facebook group and a WhatsApp group. I hope it's my Yoav's Real Israel Club, I call it.
So what's the name of it?
Yoav.
When will that be up?
It's going to be when I come back. We're going to put it up on Facebook and on
social media platforms.
And we'll share that.
Yeah, and WhatsApp. WhatsApp is easy because I'm going to record videos. I'm going to go to places.
Love it.
And I will try to bring things that you can't find in the news. Some people that will speak there and interviews, and that's going to be so.
So maybe we could talk to our folks, but it's Yoav. What do you call it?
Yoav's Real Israel Club.
And spell Yoav.
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 And so when he gets it up, we'll actually do a link, and when it comes up, we'll share it so that people can be a part. But here's what I love is you love Israel, but even when I was over there, you celebrated your neighbors. Like you bragged on things in Gaza. You bragged on. I'm like you're for the people. You are for. Yes. You love humans. I love humans, and you are part of the army, but it is not an offensive team. It's the Israel Defense Force. Exactly. I just want to. And you guys are now having to defend something because what they know is if they stop defending, then they're going to get hurt. It's not like let's lay your, I understand. For me, when someone says lay something down, what I love is you're saying we are holding stuff, but we want to lay everything down. Mm-hmm. But we can't lay something down because the moment the Iron Dome is taken down, it will be a complete rockets falling in
our house.
Yes.
That's what actually saved us in October 7th. We had rockets. We're next to Jerusalem, which is far from Gaza. They don't have rockets that get there now, but at the beginning we had rockets sent on us, and first of all, the Iron Dome knows exactly if it's going to fall in the middle, and we saw some explosions above us. So they knew it's going to go to us or to a neighbor community, and outside of the community we had rockets falling in the vineyards, in like 900 feet from us. The rocket fell, big explosion. So Iron Dome is defending, but not just that. We hold the guns to protect ourselves in our neighborhood. That's what I did in my reserve service until from November to April, guarding at the gate because we have other neighbors who wants to get us.
So that's why our nation started with the right to bear arms.
Yes.
Every citizen needs a right to bear arms.
To defend yourself. It's a defense mechanism.
Yeah. Yes, definitely.
Yes.
So
I was going to ask him, if I may. I was going to ask just for people maybe to get a feel. So so Gil and Mikhail are how old?
6 and 9.
Okay, so you're living a normal life, October the 6th. Right?
Yes.
You got your business going, you're doing stuff. Tours, etc., all lined up, you got them, etc. And so then October the 6th, you're doing that. So October the 7th, your whole nation is under attack. I mean, there's a massacre. It's horrible. That what they do is horrible. And so 1,200 people are killed that day. And then so many hostages were taken. And 120 hostages are still in the tunnels in Gaza. And so, but my question is, so Allison has grandchildren, and I have great-grandchildren that are very small, right? To me, that as a father, a grandfather, that's what touches my heart. I can make it, I can survive, but how did you deal with, and what do you do with your children?
How are you still dealing
How are
with
you
it?
still dealing?
First of all, in the beginning, it was frightening, but we had to protect them. So first of all, you run to the bomb shelter or to the safe room of our neighbors. We don't have a safe room. So we ran there a few times. Then we had to leave our home because it was impossible, when you don't have a safe room in your home. So we went to my wife's parents. It was far away. And first of all, we tried to protect them from the news. So they will live their life. And that's amazing. In Israel, we have been, unfortunately, I can't say we've been used to it, but we have the ability to understand that we grew up with enemies. We know that they are trying to. So we haven't experienced something like that.
Anti-Semitism hasn't just started.
Your grandfather was
Agree.
part of the Holocaust.
Agree,
That's
right.
what we're talking.
Agree.
Yeah.
And definitely he has experienced things that people maybe experienced for October 7th, still experiencing in tunnels. But my kids. So at the beginning it wasn't a chaos, but almost. In some areas in Israel it was up until now there are people that are more suffering from us because they can't go back to their homes, either around Gaza and in Lebanon, because they're being shooting in their communities from Lebanon. So they're evacuated to hotels. That's horrible. We have been blessed that our educational system after a month and a half came back to function. So basically you always have to think if you wanna drive up north, if there'll be sirens, how are you gonna hide if there's a rocket coming? So we're used to it. Mm-hmm. They know they ask some questions, but they've experienced it from early age.
Wow. Okay, so another thing though, we're saying one thing I love about you and your honey is that we've talked, and it's like, yes, it's been bad, but you have such compassion for those that lost family members and those that are hostages now. And you actually have the compassion for those that you believe are in the Gaza Strip as innocent people that are being they're not being told the truth. Just very much like Pastor Stephen explained to us, that the education that they've been taught is one of hate, one of even their cartoons and different things. They depict an entire...
Kill the Jews, is what they say.
It's not a normal thing. Am I saying...
You're right. And again, it can change.
No, it's like what happened with Abraham. It's an easy change, but you have to want change to make it happen.
Yes, we need to see it. Meanwhile, surveys are not showing that they want... maybe out of fear or maybe out of other thing, majority of them are supporting Hamas.
Yeah.
And Hamas, so it's telling us they still want to kill us. But there's some 15% of the Palestinians in the West Bank recognize the Jewish state of Israel. And that's a beginning. If these 15% will grow, it will be easier to create a peaceful area.
So one thing that I love is I'm excited because I believe in taking care of each other, and we're faith family. And the reason I love that you're starting not just being feet on the ground, but this club that people can actually, they'll pay a subscription to the club, and through that it will be where you can have true information, but it's also really a way that we can help families and help people over there right now, because what happened is you lost your job.
I did.
I mean, I love you. It makes me, and you're a good man and you work hard for your family. I never saw anyone take the steps like you could take the steps as a team leader.
Or go through to the. I remember you leading
the tunnels
through that thing that we went to where the water was. We saw David's place where. Yeah.
Hezekiah's tunnels.
And Ricardo's, he was there. He and Jeanette, and so, but.
Dad, you even were a little skinnier then.
I thought, oh, thank you very much. I thought, is there a way that am I going to make it through? But I was following you. So the point is, what are you following? And who are you following, even though it may be a hard thing? So that's why it's important that people get what really is happening today in Israel, because what most people are following is the news that somebody's telling them is happening.
Well, and just like with the attempt on the former president's life, and I'm so thankful that the Lord protected President Trump, and that's a miracle. And I am praying for him, praying for his family, praying for all elected officials for protection, and all those running for an election. We're praying for protection, because that's what we need to do. But even in that, you look, there's 7 or 8 different news sources, and there's stories, but there's like different ways that the story kind of gets interpreted. Let's just put it that way. I mean,
yes.
And it's
But when we saw the news, it was very clear what happened.
Yes,
there.
it was.
We have the questions, and we are still waiting for answers, and that's something that I hope the Americans will get.
Me too.
As soon as possible, and be honest, and people from the ground level over there should speak, and I think they will speak.
And that's what we're saying is for us, and I know you guys are listening to us, and probably been on about 30 minutes now. Just keep listening, thank God. Is that you are the ground level for us, and so for me, the way I can kind of get a pulse for what is happening over there is by talking to you and your wife.
I want to invite everyone, and part of my club is actually we'll do like once a month or 2 weeks. We'll do like a live Zoom with questions, and I want to offer my time, which is free because I lost my job, to create a new job, and with the money comes from the subscriptions to basically do this new job and share the truth and bring the stories from Israel and the boots on the ground, at least until the end of this year, if not afterwards. I like sharing, and I wanna bring people.
Yes.
If they can't come to Israel, I want to bring people.
And people
Israel.
are starting to go to Israel again.
Yes.
There are some smaller tours that are already taking place, and you're available to do those to anyone that wants that. And he is an amazing. We as a church family hope in 2025 that we feel like there's going to be a green light for us to go and bring in the new year together or do something. But I do believe, though, for some people, going to Israel, you may think, I don't really want to go, but I feel a part of it. I feel called to it. I pray for Israel. The Lord says to pray for Israel so that you can prosper. I mean, you can look up scriptures. And I believe one reason America is the country it is because we've been a big brother to Israel. Kind of, this is a great interpretation of the relationship right here.
Thank you for the big
America.
Thank you for the big
Israel. No, I'm like,
Hey, by the way, if you don't have any subscribers, Jackie and I are volunteering to be your very first subscribers.
Yes.
Okay,
Thank
so
you.
we're on board immediately.
But what I think is important, though, is that he not only does that, but he'll go to the wall. You'll go to the gates. And you actually, a lot of times, will bring the history and the biblical side. You make the Bible come alive. It felt like, I remember going down and going underneath where they found the road headed up to the temple. And makes me...
The blind guy that walks to
Yes.
the pool of Siloam and can see on the
Yes.
way back.
There you go.
That's there.
It's there.
I really think that coming to the land is in a way like reading big part of the Bible. You really read the Bible more comfortable after being there.
You know what it did for me was when we went to Israel, when I'd read the Bible, it was like I had a coloring book.
Yeah.
And then when I went to Israel, it's like all the colors were filled in.
Yeah.
It was just an outline in your mind. But then when we go to Israel, and when Jackie and I landed in Tel Aviv, with our group there, Josh and Raj and those folks were so kind to help us.
Elijah.
Kyle, all those folks was wonderful. But what happened was I feel at home. You've been in our home. Yeah. I was reared two minutes from here where we're sitting, so I'm at home. In Georgia, I'm at home. In America, I'm at home. But when I landed in Israel, Jackie and I looked at each other, and it was like, we're home.
Connected to your roots.
Connected to It was
Actually,
amazing.
I felt the same way, and so I just want to encourage you today. Please, first of all, don't just listen and even hear what we have to say. It says that they were more noble
than those at Thessalonica, because after having heard the word preached, they daily searched the scriptures to see whether or not the things they heard were so.
I want to say, don't get caught up in emotion with anyone or anything. Don't get caught up in culture. Don't believe when you just see a protest going down the road thinking, they've hurt someone. I think it's really important that you take a step back and say, what's really going on? And research it. I would encourage you to get the truth on it and not the emotions on it, and actually get the facts. Yeah. And there are a lot of great facts that will help you. And could you give maybe some ways that they could, things that you think they could study that would help them?
So there's a great book I always recommend. It calls the War of Return, and it's speaking about from the beginning about the basic understanding of what's going, because you can always go and look at the event from yesterday, but if you want to understand the main story, you have to understand why everything is happening. Now you can always go back to the Bible, but if you want to go back to the beginning, in the end of the 19th century, beginning of 20th century, Einat Wilf is the writer.
Go to the
Balfour Declaration. All of that, she's dealing with it. She's dealing with it in the book together with.
What's the name of the book?
The War of Return.
Okay,
I love it.
Can you spell it?
The War of Return.
The War of Return.
The War of Return.
Yeah. Who wrote it?
Two. One of them is a D. Schwartz, I think, but the other writer.
We'll look it up.
I'll show it on
Good.
Wednesday also.
Okay.
Good.
So,
Wonderful.
and you listen, we can work on that. You have questions, but I'm saying read the information. I love the Bible. You read the Bible.
Yes.
And for me, I'm like, man, you don't have to convince me. But a lot of people don't read the Bible and they don't study the Bible and they may not believe the Bible like we do. And so that's where it's important for you. Then you may say, oh, that's just a religious thing. No. It's about a people and a land, and that's what the book's going to show you. Yes. And so I want to encourage you also, if you feel any pull and think, man, I would like to know more, I'd like to help him and his family out, you definitely want to be a part of Yoav's new plan, new business. And then if you are looking to go to Israel, you can reach out to Yoav through Instagram and message him, and then get a part of him through WhatsApp, where he'll contact you, talk with you, and share all information with you. And Yoav is a great guy. When I tell you that, a lot of times people will say, contact me, I'll get back with you, and then you don't hear from them. Yoav, if he is not out with a tour with his family with just a few hours, even on a weird time zone, he'll answer you. Right. And I'm thankful for that.
So how would he, as we sign off here, how would somebody contact you, WhatsApp or whatever?
We can put my phone number, but my search my name,
sure.
Yoav, Yoav, and my last name is Rotem, Rotem. And I'm on Facebook.
You can find
and at gmail.com is my email. That's
good.
Easy.
Yeah, so please reach out. And also, if you're looking for a place to find out some real facts and know what's going on, go to the Word of God. It is the only thing that is going to last forever. I know I mentioned it a while ago and said some people don't believe in it, but if you want different results in your life and you're looking, I need a compass for my life. Let the Word of God be the compass. It's the only one that leads. It says in Joshua 1, meditate on this Word day and night, and then you will be successful and you will prosper. So if you want some success and some prospering in your life, it's only found really through the Word of God.
If you want some joy in your life, come to Covenant on Sunday. It's a great place to be on Sunday morning. We have been here with my family, and I never been to such a joyful place in my life. It's you learn, you enjoy, you feel spiritual, you cry, it's everything together, and you do an amazing job. And I
make me want to hug you.
We're better together.
Right.
Right.
So God bless you, and we hope to hear from you soon.